Hey there, it's Myra Golden. Welcome back. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. If you are a first timer, I want you to say hi in the comments. I want you to go to the comments and type hi. I want to reach out and meet you. I work with customer service professionals just like all of you who are hardworking and sometimes overwhelmed, particularly now in this pandemic when customers are at their worst. I primarily help with empathy and tone, delivering bad news, and de-escalation. If any of that is relevant to you, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I want you to be the first to know when I release a new training video. Today, I am sharing with you 5 keys for delivering bad news. 5 keys I designed to help you say no, issue a denial, or tell the customer what they don't want to hear. So 5 keys coming up right now. There are 5 keys to telling your customer what they don't want to hear. That's if you have to say no or deny a claim or in any way tell the customer what they don't want to hear. Here are the 5 keys. We are jumping right into key number 1, which is be clear. I want you to clearly say what is. It is what it is. No point in sugarcoating it, bluffing your way through it. Just speak what is. You do that by explaining the issue, and I want you to be as concise as possible. So you're brief, no preamble, no fluff, no excessive apology. Again, I want you to be concise as possible. You want to be concise because the more we talk, the more confidence we begin to lose. Some of us, not all of us, but often when we say more than we need to, we're robbing ourselves of credibility. We're opening doors for the customer to walk through, to question us, to push us, to ultimately ask for a manager, or in general become more difficult. But if you're concise, you just say what you need to say, not in a mean way, of course. We're assertive. My second point here. We're not aggressive, we're not passive, we're right there in the middle. My definition of assertiveness, and if you come week after week, you've heard me say this, it is say what you mean what you say, and don't be mean when you say it. The voice I'm speaking to you in right now is my assertive voice. So I'm confident. Hopefully it comes across as confident and powerful and in control. And that's exactly how you need to come across. Not stern, not difficult, and certainly not passive. And then finally, I want you to focus on being confident in your delivery. That might mean speaking from the diaphragm, sitting up in your chair, sometimes standing up. When I'm having an intense conversation or when I'm negotiating, I will stand. When I'm training, typically I'm standing. Today I'm sitting, it's the end of the day. But I stand because it makes me feel more powerful and sound more powerful. So be clear, you're concise and you're confident in what you have to say, and you just say what is. Key action number 2 is I want you to acknowledge the impact. When you clearly let the customer know what you cannot do, that you're not able to honor their request, you realize, because you serve customers, that that's tough for a customer. So I want you to acknowledge how hard that is for your customer. Why do we do this? Recognizing the customer's concern is going to help you preempt an escalation. If you make the customer realize that you get it, you feel their pain, that you're empathizing with them, they're less likely to feel that they need to talk to someone else, that is your manager, because they feel like you understand, even if you ultimately have to say no, which that's why we are having this conversation. And another reason we want to acknowledge the impact is this will help you move the customer from the right emotional brain to a whole brain place of thinking. You've heard me talk about linking the communication chain. If you're new to the channel, go back and look up my video, acknowledge the customer's concern. In fact, I'll make a point to put a link to 2 videos that I already speak to that on. But you want to link the customer's communication chain so that they move out of that erratic, emotional, venting, talking right brain to a whole brain rational place. The way you acknowledge your customer's impact is concise. And you'll notice every one of these keys is concise. One sentence. Now, these are phrases that I pulled from an actual digital workshop that I just did this week. You want to customize for your specific industry and the customer situation. But here are some good examples to take a look at. I know this delay throws off your entire day or your entire schedule. I realize this puts you in a bind. This is no more acceptable to us than it is to you. I want to get your materials to you as much as you want the materials. So, one sentence delivered confidently to acknowledge your customer's pain point. Then you move right to key action number 3, which is I want you to pause and let the customer respond. When you pause, that is going to help protect you from over talking, over explaining, sounding less confident, because the more we talk or the faster we talk, the less credible we appear, the less confident we are perceived, which again is why I'm asking you to only use one sentence in each of these keys. But after you have clearly explained the issue, key number 1, you have given one sentence to acknowledge how hard this is. I want you to pause like this. 2 to 3 seconds is all you need. Literally just pause. And when you pause, you're giving your customer, not only are you protecting your confidence and credibility, the perception of that, but you're giving the customer an opportunity to ask you a question, or they may just simply digest what you've said. And they might not have questions. Likely they will. But that's why we pause, so that we continue to sound confident and credible. Let them digest it, and now they have an opportunity to ask us questions. After that pause, I want you to go into managing expectations. And what you're doing here is you're trying to reinforce your credibility. You are coming across as confident, resolute, and firm and final. Okay. Again, that's assertive. We can't do that being aggressive and certainly not being passive. So, again, I'm going to repeat it. We're going to say what we mean. We mean what we say, and we're not mean when we say it, using a voice similar to what you hear me speaking right now, because I can't sound defensive. I can't sound nervous. I can't sound unsure. I have to be assertive right in the middle. So, managing expectations is going to help you protect the relationship, because I don't know where you work, but I'm pretty sure part of your job is to make customers happy. Part of your job is to regain their goodwill, restore their confidence. Managing expectations, that is you being honest and transparent as you guide them to the next steps, helps you do all of that. How do you manage expectations? You're transparent. You don't make any assumptions. You keep the customer updated. For those of you who follow up, I know not every one of my viewers reaches out to customers on an outbound basis. But if you do, then you'll do that final thing, which is keep the customer apprised. Here's some things, though, that I want you to watch out for. Don't overpromise, okay? Don't fluff or bluff your way through it just to get through that call. Say what the customer needs to hear. Say what they need to hear in case you get a call back and you would want somebody to have given false information, misleading information that makes your job harder. So you're just transparent. You say what needs to be said. Don't let the customer push you into a corner just so you can get out of that call, because they'll call back, whether it's days later, weeks later, or months later, and somebody else has to deal with that problem. My final key, follow up, is not for everybody. Typically, this is not for my contact center clients. You don't have to follow up, not most of you. So this is only for you if you do need to follow up. So if there's been a problem, a mistake, or a change of plans, it doesn't matter whose fault it is, the customer, a third party, your company, and you have to follow up to make sure things are right, this is perfect for you. Why do you do that? It's to ensure customer satisfaction. It's to restore their confidence. It's to make certain that the company has made good on their promise. The best way to do this is over the phone, face to face, rather than email or text. Again, this is not for my contact center clients. Generally, the pitfalls to watch for are letting the customer down again, okay, or avoiding follow up because you fear that this is going to be a tough conversation because we already let them down once. But follow up, it's just a nice thing to do. It's something I do in my small business. If something went wrong technically or at any place in the process, I like to pick up the phone and follow up. I can't do it face to face, even before the pandemic. Right now, no one can really. But I can't do it because most of my clients are outside of Tulsa where I live. So a telephone call will work. Now, again, if you are a contact center professional, you only have to do steps 1 through 4. And I shouldn't say only because I don't want to minimize it, but that's where you get to stop. Thanks so much for listening to my framework for how to give bad news. I developed this framework back in 2013, I believe it was, after I witnessed a doctor, it was a surgeon, giving my family horrible news. And I was so impressed with the way he confidently and in a very straightforward way told us the worst possible thing. And I really took in how I and my family received the news. And so after that experience, I went on to visit with several doctors and to create my own plan for customer service professionals. I will also put a link into that video. It's an old video. I have a whole different style and look, but the content I think it will be relevant to you. So I'll put a link there. So again, thank you for listening to my ideas. I am confident that these approaches will help you deliver bad news in a straightforward, confident way, in such a way that you minimize any fallout and backlash, and you are going to minimize the escalations. Some customers will still escalate because that's who they are, but you will have fewer escalations because of your confidence and the approach. I'm going to put a worksheet in the description box, a link to it, if you want to take the 5 keys, which is what I want you to do, and take one of your own scenarios and apply the 5 keys. If you take the time to map out your response when you're not in an active phone call with the customer, it is easier to prepare and build that confidence. So grab that worksheet and do this exercise. Well, all right. Again, if this is your first time, I want you to say hi in the comments. And for everyone here, if you have an idea that you want me to teach on in our weekly meetups, please leave that in the comments. I will either look to create a video teaching on that subject or I'll reply to you directly. I spent about an hour today just reading comments and then giving people one-on-one advice. In one case, I gave someone free access to one of my online courses. So make sure you leave your comments because I look forward to reading those. I love helping customer service professionals redirect challenging interactions and deliver the best possible customer service. All right, until next time, bye-bye.